Have you ever caught your reflection in a mirror and wondered if time has dimmed your charm? Perhaps you've noticed silver threading through your hair or subtle lines marking your journey through life. But here's something remarkable: like a fine wine, men often become more captivating with age. While youth has its allure, there's an undeniable magnetism that comes with maturity. Today, we're going to explore 8 telltale signs that prove you're more attractive than you give yourself credit for. These aren't just surface-level observations, they're the subtle indicators that reveal how your years of experience have transformed into an irresistible appeal. Just as Cary Grant and Sean Connery became more charismatic with age, you too might be carrying that same timeless appeal without even realizing it. So sit back, perhaps with your favorite drink, as we uncover these revealing signs that show why being a mature man might just be your greatest asset. Before we dive in, if you find value in understanding the power of mature masculinity, please show your support by hitting that like button. Subscribe to join our community of distinguished gentlemen, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our insights on aging with grace and power. Sign number 1: the natural comfort factor. There's something extraordinary about the way younger women respond to your presence. It's not about trying to be someone you're not, it's quite the opposite. Like a masterfully aged scotch, your natural confidence creates an atmosphere of comfort that draws people in. When younger women feel at ease around you, it manifests in countless subtle ways: the way they lean in slightly during conversations, their genuine laughter at your observations, or how they seek out your company in social settings. This isn't about flirtation, it's about the rare quality of making others feel secure and valued in your presence. Think of it like being the steady oak tree in a garden. Your roots run deep, your presence is grounding, and people naturally gather in your shade. You've noticed how younger women maintain eye contact a bit longer, how they share their thoughts more freely, and how they seem to drop their guard around you. This isn't coincidence, it's the power of mature masculinity at work. What makes this particularly special is that you're not trying to impress anyone. Your calm, steady presence comes from decades of life experience. You've weathered storms, celebrated victories, and learned what truly matters. This wisdom radiates from you without a single word being spoken, creating a magnetic field of comfort that others, especially younger women, naturally respond to. Sign number 2: the distinguished gentleman's presence. Like a perfectly tailored Italian suit, your sense of style speaks volumes before you say a word. When people consistently notice and compliment your appearance, it's not just about the clothes you wear, it's about how you wear them with the confidence that comes from knowing exactly who you are. Perhaps you've noticed how others, particularly women, comment on your signature scent, your well-maintained silver hair, or the way you coordinate your accessories. These aren't mere courtesies, they're acknowledgments of something deeper. Like Sean Connery in his later years or George Clooney today, you've mastered the art of age-appropriate sophistication. Your style isn't about chasing trends or trying to look younger. Instead, you've cultivated what the Italians call sprezzatura, that effortless elegance that comes from understanding quality over quantity. Whether it's your carefully chosen timepiece, your well-polished shoes, or the subtle pocket square in your jacket, each detail reflects a lifetime of refining your taste. Remember, when someone compliments your appearance, they're not just admiring your clothes, they're responding to the total package: the confidence in your stride, the dignity in your bearing, and the subtle authority that comes from being comfortable in your own skin. Like a fine wine that gets better with age, your style has matured into something truly distinctive. Sign number 3: the magnetic gaze effect. Picture yourself walking through an upscale restaurant or a sophisticated wine bar. You might notice something subtle yet unmistakable: those lingering glances from women across the room. Like Richard Gere or Pierce Brosnan, you've developed that rare quality where age only enhances your appeal. These aren't just casual glances, they're moments of genuine intrigue. Perhaps you've experienced it, a woman's gaze that holds for just a second longer than usual, followed by that quick, almost shy look away when your eyes meet. It's similar to how people admire a classic Mercedes-Benz. There's something about timeless quality that naturally draws attention. What makes these moments particularly meaningful is their authenticity. In our world of filtered photos and carefully curated social media, genuine attraction stands out like a rare vintage wine. Whether you're engaged in conversation at a business meeting, enjoying your morning coffee at a cafe, or simply reading a newspaper in the park, you carry an aura that quietly commands attention. This isn't about the brash confidence of youth, it's about the magnetic pull of a man who's comfortable in his own skin. Like a well-aged scotch, your presence has depth and character that can't be rushed or manufactured. These lingering looks are silent acknowledgments of the distinguished gentleman you've become. Sign number 4, the trusted advisor phenomenon. There's a certain gravitas that comes with maturity, much like a seasoned captain navigating rough waters. You've likely noticed how people, especially younger colleagues and acquaintances, naturally gravitate toward you for guidance. This isn't just about your experience, it's about the wisdom you emanate. Like Morgan Freeman's characters who often portray the voice of wisdom, you've become someone others instinctively trust. Perhaps you've found yourself being approached for advice on career moves, relationship challenges, or life decisions. These moments aren't coincidental, they're recognition of your life mastery, earned through years of navigating life's complexities. What's particularly telling is how women, both younger and contemporary, seek your perspective. They value not just what you say, but how you say it with that measured confidence that comes from having weathered life's storms. Like a master sommelier who can discern subtle notes in fine wine, you've developed the ability to see nuances in situations that others might miss. This natural role as a mentor or advisor isn't just about knowledge, it's about the complete package you present, your composure, your thoughtful responses, and that reassuring presence that makes people feel heard and understood. It's the kind of attraction that goes beyond physical appearance, touching something deeper and more meaningful. Sign number 5, the natural command of presence. Imagine a vintage Rolls-Royce gliding down a city street. It doesn't need to announce its presence, its mere existence commands attention. This is precisely how your mature confidence manifests. Unlike the sometimes brash energy of younger men, your presence has the quiet authority of a master conductor leading an orchestra. Consider how Jack Nicholson or Anthony Hopkins carries themselves. There's no need for grand gestures or loud declarations. Your confidence flows naturally, like a well-aged bourbon that doesn't need fancy packaging to prove its worth. When you enter a room, you don't seek attention, rather, your composed demeanor naturally draws others toward you. This isn't about dominating a space, it's about occupying it with grace. Perhaps you've noticed how people respond to your unhurried pace, your measured words, and your thoughtful reactions. Like a luxury timepiece that keeps perfect time without flashy complications, your self-assurance comes from knowing exactly who you are. What makes this quality particularly attractive is its authenticity. You've moved beyond the need to prove yourself, beyond the anxious energy of youth. Instead, you carry yourself with the kind of relaxed dignity that only comes from having lived a life rich with experiences. It's the difference between a novice actor trying to remember his lines and a seasoned performer who embodies the character naturally. Sign number 6, the refined physical presence. Like a well-maintained classic Jaguar that turns heads decades after its prime, your physical presence speaks of disciplined self-care rather than desperate youth chasing. When people remark, "I hope I look that good at your age," they're acknowledging something more profound than mere appearance. They're recognizing your commitment to aging with dignity and vigor. Consider how Sean Connery maintained his appeal well into his later years, or how Pierce Brosnan embodies sophisticated masculinity today. It's not about having six-pack abs or running marathons, though if that's your thing, more power to you. Instead, it's about carrying yourself with the kind of vitality that comes from conscious living. Perhaps you've noticed admiring glances at the golf club, or received compliments about your posture in business meetings. These aren't just polite observations, they're recognition of how you've mastered the art of maintaining yourself without falling into the trap of trying to look 30 again. Like a well-preserved vintage automobile, you show that maintenance doesn't mean modification. The true testament to your physical presence isn't just in how you look, but in how you move, with the fluid confidence of someone who knows their body and respects its capabilities. Whether you're playing with grandchildren, enjoying a round of golf, or simply walking with purpose, you demonstrate that vitality has no expiration date when properly maintained. Sign number 7, the charming raconteur effect. Picture yourself at an elegant dinner party, sharing a story or making an observation that brings genuine laughter from those around you. Like Alan Alda or Bill Murray, you've mastered the art of effortless charm, where even the simplest anecdote becomes engaging when delivered with your particular brand of wit. When women laugh at your jokes, even the deliberately corny ones, it's about more than just humor. Like a skilled jazz musician who knows exactly when to play and when to pause, you've developed an intuitive sense of timing and delivery. Your so-called dad jokes aren't met with eye rolls but with genuine appreciation, because they're delivered with the confidence of someone who's comfortable enough to be playfully self-deprecating. What's particularly telling is how younger women respond to your humor. They're not just being polite, there's an authentic connection happening. Like a master sommelier who can pair the perfect wine with any dish, you know how to match your wit to your audience. Whether it's clever wordplay, gentle irony, or those groan-worthy puns you've perfected over the years, your humor creates a bridge across generations. This ability to generate genuine laughter is a rare gift, like a vintage port that gets smoother with age. It's not about trying to be the life of the party or the loudest voice in the room. Instead, it's about that subtle charm that comes from years of understanding human nature and knowing how to bring light moments into any conversation. Sign number 8, the subtle art of attraction. Like a masterfully directed film where the most powerful moments lie in the unspoken details, attraction at our age operates on a more sophisticated level. You might notice these subtle signals: a slight adjustment of her hair when you enter the room, the way she mirrors your gestures during conversation, or how her eyes linger just a moment longer than necessary. Consider how Cary Grant maintained his legendary charm well into his later years. It wasn't about obvious flirtation, but rather about understanding the power of refined interaction. These delicate signs of interest are like the notes in a fine perfume, subtle yet unmistakable to those who know what to look for. Perhaps you've experienced these moments: the way a woman's voice softens when speaking with you, how she finds reasons to be in your proximity, or the gentle touch on your arm that seems casual but carries meaning. Like reading a well-crafted novel, these signals require attention to detail and emotional intelligence to interpret correctly. What makes these interactions particularly special is their sophistication. Unlike the more direct approaches of youth, these are elegant dances of mutual interest. Think of it as diplomatic relations at their finest, where much is communicated through subtle gestures, meaningful glances, and carefully chosen words. It's the kind of interaction that only becomes possible with the confidence and wisdom that comes from years of life experience. Gentlemen, as we conclude our exploration of these 8 distinguished signs, remember that true magnetism, like a rare vintage wine, only improves with time. Your journey has given you something that no young man can purchase or pretend to possess: authentic sophistication born of real experience. Think of yourself as a classic novel that becomes more valuable with each passing year. Every line on your face tells a story of wisdom gained, every silver hair represents a lesson learned, and your measured confidence speaks of battles won and challenges overcome. Like Sean Connery, who became more captivating with each passing decade, you too are aging like fine whiskey, developing deeper notes of character and becoming more refined with time. Perhaps you've recognized several of these signs in yourself, or maybe you're just beginning to appreciate the unique advantages that maturity brings. Either way, remember this: your age isn't just a number, it's a curated collection of experiences that makes you uniquely attractive in ways that youth simply cannot match. Before we part ways, I invite you to share your own experiences in the comments below. Which of these signs resonated most with you? What other signs of distinguished attraction have you noticed in your own life? Your insights might just help another gentleman recognize his own timeless appeal. And if you found value in these insights, consider becoming part of our distinguished community by subscribing and sharing this video with other mature gentlemen who might appreciate this perspective. After all, like a good brandy, wisdom is best when shared. Until next time, carry yourself with the quiet confidence of a man who knows his true worth improves with age.